Hey, Kremlin Nation, we're back with another video.
Yes.
As you can tell,
We are.
Play. This video is we're gonna be giving away our FastPass secrets. So don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody.
Except share it with your whole family. But make sure they have separate YouTube accounts so we get more views. Alright. That being said, let's get into the video.
So these are going to be our keys to having success with FastPasses in Walt Disney World. I'm going to start this with an inside tip of some sort. It's not really an inside tip because Disney tells you, but a lot of people don't even know.
That they're free?
They are free.
That you get 3 to start the day?
They get 3 to start the day.
And then after those 3, you can pick any one from the selection from using the Walt Disney World app?
Yes.
My Experience app?
Yeah, that, exactly. And Disney tells you these things, but I'm telling you, majority of the people in the park do not utilize them. So book your 3. We're going to discuss what 3 to book.
Because they don't follow us.
That is why. They aren't subscribed to our videos, so they don't know. So be sure you book your 3. We're going to tell you in this video a part-by-part suggestion of what we would book, the times we would book, and what you should do after that. But be sure that you know up front, you get 3. After those 3, you get an additional one. Once that's used, you get another additional one. Once that's used, you get another additional one. And then you can just get them all day for as long as FastPasses are available in that time frame of the park being open. So, number 1, Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. Alright, so our 3 suggested FastPasses to book for Magic Kingdom. It's kind of open for debate because Magic Kingdom has so many attractions. But we agreed that our top 3 would be Space Mountain, Seven Dwarfs, and we said Thunder Mountain?
Yes.
Thunder Mountain can also be exchanged for Peter Pan. Yeah, that's really...
Yeah, I mean, you can exchange it for anything.
Yeah.
Like, you could do Haunted Mansion,
but there's so many good
Cruise.
attractions.
Right.
But we would recommend Thunder Mountain because usually, like Splash Mountain, usually will get a shorter wait later on in the day. Haunted Mansion, at some points in the day, can get below 30 minutes.
Right. Same with Pirates.
Same with Pirates, same with Splash, or same with, Jungle Cruise. But Thunder Mountain's usually always around like 55 minutes.
Right.
So we say that one. Peter Pan's flight is also extremely hard to get. We usually just don't book it because obviously it's not as good of an attraction. Now it is like famous.
Based on thrill level.
It's popular. So that being said, if you see Peter Pan's flight pop up during the day, or if you've never been to Disney, we would recommend Peter Pan, Space Mountain, and Seven Dwarfs.
If you're basing this off of
like time that you can save,
I would definitely recommend Peter Pan over Thunder Mountain. But for us, we just don't have that as like one of our must-have rides because we've ridden it before multiple times, and we have a better time on Thunder Mountain than we do on Peter Pan. But like Chase said, if you see it open up throughout your day and you've already used your 3, go ahead and book it. If you have kids that are going to love that attraction, book it up front and make that one of your main 3 that you booked. But for us, for what we like to do in the parks, we recommend Seven Dwarfs, Space, and Thunder Mountain.
Our additional tip, so each part we're going to give an additional tip for each one. Our additional tip for Magic Kingdom is going to be, once you use those 3 FastPasses, just book whatever attraction you want, like, as soon as possible.
Right.
So due to there being a lot of attractions, you can usually find FastPasses for all the other attractions we haven't mentioned yet at some point during the day. So we recommend, if you see, say you're done with all these at 12. If you see a Haunted Mansion at 1, grab it. If you see Buzz Lightyear at 12:30, grab it because you're going to be able to find Haunted Mansion ones later on in the day. So kind of just like hopping along to FastPass to FastPass to FastPass to maximize your time.
Also keep in mind, Magic Kingdom is the only park in Walt Disney World that doesn't have a tier system. which you will be about to learn what that is when we do our next part.
Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios, I think, is fairly easy right now with only the few attractions that they have open. I think you have to go Slinky Dog if it's there. I think you have to go Tower of Terror, and I think you have to go Rock and Roller Coaster. If you do not like Tower of Terror or you do not like Rock and Roller Coaster, just a heads up, right up front, you are going to be limited on your fast passes, and it's probably going to be limited to shows. In that case, I would suggest...
Or Star Tours.
Right, or Star Tours. But I'm going to be honest, if you get sick on Tower of Terror and you get sick on Rock and Roller Coaster, there's a chance you're going to get sick on Star Tours. Even though I've never gotten sick on Star Tours, I think everyone that I've ever been with at some point has gotten sick on Star Tours.
So say you don't want to do one of Tower of Terror or Aerosmith. What show would you recommend doing? Because shows are a little bit different because you have to arrive at a certain time, but you're just getting a better seat. You're not getting anything other than that.
But
because
you're still gonna
you're seeing the same show.
Right.
You're just gonna have a better seat. You're getting in early.
But yeah, you're also getting it earlier, which for me is a big deal. Just because, especially 90% of the time when we go to Walt Disney World, it's hot out. You get in the AC. If it's not hot, it's raining. You get out of the rain. I would definitely say Frozen Ever After. Personally, on a personal level,
Frozen
Sing-Along, sorry. Frozen Ever After is going to be a different part. Stay tuned for that in this video. The Frozen Sing-Along, personally, for us, just as me and Chase, the Disney Kremlins, or the Kremlins vlog, whichever you prefer, we would say what we normally do is Slinky Dog, if available, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Frozen Sing-Along. Now, if you like thrill rides, definitely substitute Tower of Terror where you can with the Frozen Sing-Along. Just for us personally, we would recommend, if you get sick on Tower of Terror, to book Frozen Sing-Along show, or if you just don't like the attraction that much, or whatever the case may be, Frozen Sing-Along is definitely the way to go.
Also, Slinky Dog is gonna be used. If you don't get Slinky Dog 60 days in advance, you're probably not gonna be able to get it. But the tier system that we talked about, the tier 1s is gonna be Toy Story Land attractions. So you can't book 2 Toy Story Land attractions. So we would probably both recommend Toy Story Mania.
Yes.
Again, Toy Story Mania is one of my favorite attractions overall. So it's a good secondary FastPass grab to get if you can't get Slinky Dog. Because Swirling Saucers, their FastPasses are limited, but let's be honest, it's not that great of a ride. And late at night, you can get on with probably no wait. So I'd rather do Toy Story Mania if you can't get Slinky Dog.
Agreed.
When Galaxy's Edge opens in August, our additional tip is that all Toy Story Land attractions, Aerosmith and Tower of Terror, are all going to be in tier 1. So you can't book 2 of those.
Right.
So just
keep
that in mind.
And the Galaxy's Edge ride, Smuggler's Run, is not going to have FastPass available on opening day on the 29th.
So just keep that in mind if you are watching this after the opening of Galaxy's Edge. In that case, Slinky Dog is the priority FastPass to get at Hollywood Studios.
100%. Now let's dive into Epcot. Okay? Epcot, I think we're on the same page here. It's another tiered system. Epcot, I think our tier 1 has to be Frozen Ever After. It's the longest wait. In my opinion, it's the best attraction in the park.
Out of Test Track and Soarin' are your other options.
Yes. Soarin', as you get throughout the day, we have seen it under 30 minutes throughout the day.
And it doesn't save that much time on Soarin'.
Because a lot of times on Soarin', you get
waiting
through the walkway, but then when they split you off onto your concourse, you're still going to have to wait 10 to 15 minutes. So you're not saving a ton of time there. Test Track has a single rider line that you're going to be able to cut down a lot of your wait. So I would say Frozen, and then what else would you say to do at Epcot?
So the priority should be Frozen. If you can't get Frozen, I'd say Test Track. As your other 2, there's not a lot of good options. You're going to have...
And going to be less options even sooner.
Yeah.
Because I would say my number 1 option would be Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, you're going to have Spaceship Earth. I'd say it's definitely the best out of these lower tiers. Spaceship Earth, you have Figment as an option, the Pixar Film Festival as an option, which I've never seen that show full. the Seas with Nemo and Friends option, Living with the Land, Turtle Talk. All these you can literally find less than a 15-minute wait on. Mission Space, which some people would argue isn't that bad of a ride. We don't like it, but some people do. So our additional tip for Epcot is to just book whatever 2 fast passes you want early in the day. That way you have more time in the day to be able to find a Test Track or a Soarin' or a Frozen if you didn't book it early.
100%, and that is a good additional tip. I always try to do, like we said before, we usually don't get to the park till 10:30, 11. So we try to book at 10 to 11, 11 to noon, and noon to 1. And as soon as we can get through those 3 fast passes, we start booking Tier 1. We start looking for Test Track and Soarin' through those.
So our first 3 suggestions, logistically speaking, it would make sense if you did Mission Space, Spaceship Earth, and Frozen. That way you're not walking from Frozen all the way to the side with Figment. You have Spaceship Earth, which is at the front of the park, Mission Space, which is in Future World, and Frozen, which is like not that deep into the World Showcase Pavilion. So they're kind of close. That way you're just not walking from Frozen all the way to the seas and then back to Mission Space. So that would probably be my suggested 3.
I'd agree with that. I get it more with that.
But like I said, you're going to be able to do everything else there. You're going to be able to get FastPass for everything else throughout the day. So those other 2 aren't as important. You need to know if you want to do either Test Track or Frozen.
Yes. Now, that brings us to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, I don't think can really be disputed as what number 1 is. It has to be Flight of Passage.
Everest, yeah.
Again, it's a tiered system. The tiers are anything in Pandora, so Navi River and Flight of Passage.
Or 2 rides in Pandora?
Yeah, or...
Toy Story Land is so much better.
Or anything else in the park. So what my favorites always are, which differ from Chase's, my favorites to book would be Flight of Passage, Everest, and Safari. I would also add in there that you need to book Safari in the morning if you can. I always try to book that at 10 to 11 just because the animals seem to be more active in the morning. Now I will say the nighttime safaris have been somewhat of a letdown since they've started, but the lions always seem to be more active at night. Now they're the only animal on the safari that are more active at night, but they definitely are more active at night. So if lions are a big deal for you, definitely check out the nighttime safari. And a lot of times later at night, not as big of a line. But I would say book that safari in the morning, book at Everest FastPass, and book Flight Passes.
A sleeper, in my opinion, is if you have little kids that
and up bird shit.
Don't like Expedition Everest. No, there is a new attraction at Animal Kingdom, the animation studio, which is at Raffiki's Planet Watch. So you can draw.
I'm so glad they're bringing that back.
Yeah. So you can draw different characters. They show you how to teach them. So if you have kids that don't want to ride Everest, which is understandable, that's a good option. Dinosaur is also we've ridden on it with a lot of kids, and the kids don't like dinosaurs.
Yes.
I think we can say that. Every picture we have, there's a kid crying or this. But also Dinosaur, if you can't get Safari, I would say is a great 3rd FastPass to get.
100%. Our additional tip for Animal Kingdom, I think, is one that if you don't get anything else from this entire video, get this. Don't waste a FastPass or 20 minutes of your life on Rivers of Light. If you need to see it once just to say you've done it,
sure.
I would still say don't even do it then, but go for it. It's not good. It's such a letdown compared to what Disney always puts out, which props to Disney. They put out so many amazing shows. They've set the bar incredibly high. Rivers of Light just ain't cutting it. I would say ride an attraction during Rivers of Light. For sure, though, don't use a FastPass.
Even if you want to see it, you can not use a FastPass and watch it from Flame Tree Barbecue from one of the porches they have on the lake.
Right.
So it's you don't even need a FastPass. And all the lines are shorter because everyone, for some reason, is watching Rivers of Light. And personally, I would rather just walk around Pandora at night than watch Rivers of Light.
Right. I would rather walk around Africa at night than watch Rivers of Light.
Alright.
I'd rather walk around Dino Land at night and take pictures.
As always, guys, thanks for supporting us. Kremlin Nation has been awesome. We've been
Yes.
really growing on YouTube, which we haven't done in a while.
Or ever.
So we appreciate your support.
Yes.
Share this with a friend that doesn't know how to Disney.
Or family member.
Or family member.
Or a stranger on the street.
Because we want to blow up Kremlin Nation.
Yes.
Alright. So guys, as usual, thanks for following us. We love y'all. Have a zippity-doo-dah day. And Quaharini.
How you doing, team? This is Captain America at Disneyland.
I'm Callie. I'm Rachel.
Yo, this is Gino Segas from Pair of Kings. You might know me as Mason McCool.
Hi, I'm the DTM.
Hi, this is Kelly, the Disney Traveler, and you just watched the Disney Kremlins.
Thanks for watching the Disney Kremlins.
To my boys Chase and Cody, Disney Kremlins. And don't forget to always represent.